Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to potentially fix your Xbox Elite Series 2 controllers, Elite Series Core controllers, and Xbox just controllers in general that are Microsoft official from stick drift. Because yes, today I ended up discovering something that I'm not sure many people know of. It isn't something that's unknown, but it's something that I found today for myself that I haven't seen before, that can actually fix stick drift on a controller. I kind of have the gameplay in the background to show you the first game I played with a controller that was broken, or at least I deemed it broken, from 2 years ago. Yes, that's right. A controller I had, an Elite Series 2 controller from 2 years ago that had stick drift that was so bad I couldn't push fully up on the sticks. Well, I can push fully up on the sticks and it wouldn't register anything, or it would do it really slowly. Some of you might know this issue. You might have experienced it yourself. Basically, the sticks were done. They were broken. It was beyond unplayable, right? The only thing I'll say, this controller still has a broken RB button, but for the time being, I'm going to use it whilst I've got a new controller on the way. But kind of a story time here, and at the end of the video, by the way, will be how to fix your Elite Series 2 controller, potentially, okay? It's not guaranteed, and I'll explain why whilst this gameplay is going around. So like I said, this gameplay is me using a broken, or at least I deemed it, broken Elite Series 2 controller from 2 years ago, okay? It's not been used, it's been left on the side, I haven't touched it, and when I plugged it back in, it was still broken. You know, the analogs weren't working, it wasn't pushing up on the sticks fully. When I was pushing the sticks on fully, it was done. It was completely busted. But there is a recalibration setting that, again, I will show you at the end of the video how to use and what you need to do in order to recalibrate and potentially fix your broken analog sticks on your controllers from stick drift. It's not guaranteed, by the way, I will say that, because this problem came about today because I did have an Elite Series Core controller. It was a controller that I got about 3 or 4 years ago, had a warranty, replaced it once as well. I have said before that these Elite Series controllers do have the issue of things like stick drift, of being broken, like the RB buttons. They're not very durable, and I'm honest with that. You know, guys, I'm not here to sell you anything. At the end of the day, I don't make any money from actually selling you a controller. Yeah, sure, the videos make money, etc. But actually selling you a controller, I don't make any money from it. I'm not partnered by Microsoft. I think the controller's good, but it isn't very durable, and it's something that I'm hoping they fix with the Elite Series 3. But yes, my Elite Series Core controller today, some of you might have even seen the post, had ridiculous amounts of stick drift, and I even recalibrated that one, okay? I will say that I did recalibrate that one with the same function I did with this Elite Series 2 controller, and it didn't work. My Elite Series Core controller is beyond repair. It cannot be fixed. I've tried recalibrating it. I've done everything. The sticks are broken. RIP Elite Series Core controller. It is done. But I thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Once I saw the recalibration things, I thought, let me try it with my old controllers, right? I have 2 more Elite Series 2 controllers that I've had in the past. Again, I've had these controllers, like, I think a few times now. Again, I probably shouldn't be spending on buying these. Well, the first time I bought an Elite Series controller, I didn't get a warranty. That was my fault. Then I did get a warranty and I got replacement. But I've had a few controllers, okay, over the years. But you got to think, I had to play, like, between 3 to 5 hours, maybe even 10 hours a day, pretty much almost every day. Not all the time, I'd say at least 5 days out of the week. So I do a lot of playing with these controllers over time. But I'm not giving an excuse, right? There are controllers on the market that could easily outdo Elite Series controllers at the moment. I'm going to see if that's the case very, very soon with a specific controller that I'm testing. Let me know in the comments if you know what it might be. But it's a brand new controller that I believe has released today. I just haven't got mine yet. But I will be testing it, seeing what it's like, and doing some settings for it if I can. You know, if I get some good settings for it. But yes, that controller's on the way. But I found this setting, the recalibration setting, and it's not something that's new. I thought it was, because when I found it, I was like, okay, does anybody else know about this? There are actually videos from a year ago about this, okay? But in case you guys didn't know, so I'm kind of making the video today to see if you guys do know, if you need an understanding of what it does and stuff. But it's a recalibration tool, and basically you just spin the sticks around, it'll recalibrate it for you, and potentially fix your controller. It's not guaranteed. It's not going to, you know, make your shots like incredible like I was doing this video, right? I'm not going to say this recalibration tool is going to make your controller do it all for you. But the night and day difference is unreal. Like in this gameplay, I was shooting, okay? That's kind of why I use this example. I didn't drop a nuke. I did drop a pretty good gameplay, but I was just shooting super well after this recalibration tool. So I'm thinking you guys might want to know. You guys might want to know this just to maybe make your sticks a bit more precise. Maybe you do want to fix stick drift. Just save your, you know, £100, £200, however much these controllers cost now, because I believe they actually went up in price due to, you know, taxes, stuff like that. You name it, right? But I believe this recalibration tool is super useful. And again, it's not guaranteed. Like I said, my Elite Series Core controller, it didn't work. It didn't fix it. That controller is done. It's broken. But my Elite Series 2 controller from 2 years ago, again, I didn't play with it. I didn't touch it. It was done to me. Yes, the RB button's still broken on it, so that's a downside. But for now, I can use this controller. You know, I've got, again, a paddle to use the RB button, you know, instead of using the actual RB button. Maybe I might be able to find a way to fix the RB button and still be able to use this controller. But this controller was done. It was old. It was dusty. It was just sitting there on the side of my windowsill this whole time. And as soon as I put it through this recalibration tool, I can use this controller. And I'd go out and say on a limb, it's actually been better than the controller I've been using for the past year. And maybe my controller was more broken than I thought. Like, maybe it was broken, I just didn't realize it. But it's been unbelievable. So at the end of this video, I will, of course, share the calibration tool, how you use it, how you get to it, and what you need to do. It can be used on an Elite Series 2 controller. It can be used on an Elite Series Core controller, and it can be used on Xbox wireless controllers. I don't think it works well with Pro controllers, and what I mean by Pro controllers is if you have a Scarf, have a G7 SE or something, anything that isn't a Microsoft controller, like the pure Xbox controller, like it's built by Microsoft themselves, not just licensed, but like made by Microsoft itself, apparently has issues with this and can sometimes brick the controller. I was reading up on it, so word of warning, do not use this recalibration tool on your Pro controllers that aren't Microsoft controllers, okay? If they're not specifically from Microsoft, I wouldn't do this, because again, I'm seeing stories that they would brick your controller. You don't want your controller, especially a scuff controller, probably about 150 to 200 pounds, those things, being bricked by a simple recalibration tool. So do not do it. You don't want to be losing that money on that controller. But yeah, this can save controllers. This actually works. Not guaranteed. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the be-all end-all and is going to 100% save your controller every single time. I'm not saying that, but it can do, and it's at least worth a shot. If you're not going to sit there and use this app and at least try and save your £150 controller, then I think you're crazy. And I know some people are going to put in the comments, you know, it didn't work for them, and I understand. It's not going to work for everyone. Like I said, it didn't work for one of my controllers, which I've been using for the last 2 years, 3 years, but it did work on the one that I haven't used for the last 2 to 3 years. How nuts is that? But anyway, that was the gameplay. I hope that was a good showcase of how good my controller is now since doing this. And let's cut to the recalibration settings and exactly what you need to do in order to try and fix your Elite Series 2, Elite Series Core, and Xbox controllers in general from stick drift or just broken analog sticks in general. But yeah, let's cut to that and see how to use the recalibration tool on Xbox. Right, so this is it, guys. This is how you fix your Elite Series 2 controller stick drift. Not guaranteed, but it does give you a much better chance of fixing it. Like I said in the gameplay, this was a controller from 2 years ago that I'd binned off. Like, it was done. I was not fixing it. But what you got to do is go down to here to your recalibration options. And this isn't just for Elite Series 2 controllers, by the way. Elite Series Core can also take advantage of this. And any Xbox official controller, okay? But I have seen you shouldn't use this with any other Pro controller. So don't do this with the G7 or anything like that. If you do have access to this, apparently it will sort of brick your controller. So warning there, do not do that. But I'll show you exactly how to do it. I'm not going to do it with the right stick because I've already done it with this controller. I don't want to mess it up. And just in case it doesn't work again. But all you got to do to recalibrate your controller is simply follow the test examples that it does here. So for instance, here, it's making me spin it around. And with this controller, like I said, the gameplay, I couldn't push it all the way up on both the left stick and the right stick. That's how bad this controller's stick drift was. Like, it was horrendous. It would not work at all. Like, it was completely broken. But now, with this recalibration option, it's given me new life to a controller that I literally had sitting around for 2 years. It was completely busted. I was not using it. This controller was done. And as you saw from the gameplay, it is incredible. Has saved this controller. Now, the only thing obviously bad with this controller is the RB button still broken. So I'm still probably going to replace it. But for the time being, whilst my Elite Core controller is completely busted, as you can see, as soon as I press it, no stick drift. Now, again, it's not going to do a night and day difference every single time, right? It's not going to guarantee fix your controller, but at least give it a shot. You might be able to save your controller with this. Yes, it won't be able to fix your RB button if it's broken, kind of like mine is on this controller. That's why I'm using a paddle for that for now. But I've got a new controller on the way anyway, and I'm going to be making a video about that in the near future. And I mean in the near future. But if you have an Elite Series 2 controller, Elite Series Core controller, or just an Xbox controller in general, and you want to fix your stick drift, give this a shot. It might do wonders. It might do nothing, okay? My Elite Series core controller is done. I've recalibrated it with this and it didn't work. But with the Elite, on my other Elite controller, it managed to fix it. So again, not a guaranteed method, but one that you should try anyway. It could save you a few £100 here or there. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you find this useful. I hope this helps you out and fixes your controllers if you do have stick drift issues. This could be your savior here. So let me know down below if this does fix it for you. And if not, I'll try my best to answer in the comments as best as possible ways you can fix it. But this did wonders for me, and I didn't even know this was around. I did not know this thing existed, and I'm hoping some of you guys now know that this exists and should give it a shot, just in case it works for you. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.